In 1988, the father of sabermetrics, Bill James, invented a new stat which had the purpose of measuring a single game pitching performance. He called this stat game score. Over the years, other statisticians have altered James's original formula in order to improve on this stat. For the purpose of this list, we will be sticking with James's original one. I'm going to present to you the top 10 single-game pitching performances of the modern era according to their traditional game score. This will actually be a top 11 instead of 10, because 6 pitchers all tied for 6th place with an identical score of 100. This is how the game score stat is created. On April 7, 2002, Curt Schilling of the Arizona Diamondbacks put up a game score of 100 against the Milwaukee Brewers. Schilling was already 35 years old and in his 15th season when he pitched this game. In a 2-0 victory, Schilling pitched a complete game shutout while giving up only 1 hit, 2 walks, and 17 strikeouts. This performance came in the very next season after Schilling helped the Diamondbacks to win the World Series in 2001. On May 18, 2004, Curt Schilling's former Diamondbacks teammate, Randy Johnson, put up a game score of 100 against the Atlanta Braves. This was Johnson's 17th year in the big leagues, and he was already 40 years old, which makes this all the more impressive. In a 2-0 victory, Johnson pitched the 17th perfect game in MLB history, giving up 0 hits, 0 walks, and striking out 13. Johnson was the oldest pitcher in MLB history ever to achieve this feat. This performance came against an Atlanta team that had Chipper Jones, Andruw Jones, and J.D. Drew in their lineup at the time. On August 8, 2010, Brandon Morrow of the Toronto Blue Jays put up a game score of 100 against the Tampa Bay Rays. In a 1-0 victory, exactly like Schilling previously, Morrow pitched a complete game shutout while giving up only 1 hit, 2 walks, and 17 strikeouts. This was Morrow's 4th year in the big leagues and his first with the Toronto Blue Jays after he was traded by the Seattle Mariners. The 1 hit he gave up was an infield single by Evan Longoria in the 9th inning after he had already gotten 2 outs. It would have been the first no-hitter by a Blue Jay since 1990. On May 4, 2018, Garrett Cole, then of the Houston Astros, put up a game score of 100 against the Arizona Diamondbacks. He pitched a complete game shutout while giving up only 1 hit, 1 walk, and striking out 16. It was his first career complete game shutout. On September 1, 2019, Justin Verlander, then of the Houston Astros, put up a game score of 100 against the Toronto Blue Jays. This was Verlander's 15th season in the big leagues, and he was already 36 years old. In a complete game no-hitter, Verlander missed a perfect game by a hair, giving up 0 hits, 1 walk, and striking out 14. This was Verlander's 3rd career no-hitters. The Astros barely won the game themselves by hitting a 2-run home run in the top of the 9th inning to score the only runs of the game. This was also Verlander's 2nd no-hitter against the Blue Jays. Game scores of 100 were also achieved by Max Scherzer and Nolan Ryan, but we're going to hear more about them later on with performances they had with even higher game scores. On September 9, 1965, Sandy Koufax of the Los Angeles Dodgers put up a game score of 101 against my Chicago Cubs. No surprise there. This was in Koufax's 10th season in the big leagues. Koufax pitched a perfect game, only the 8th in MLB history at that time. It was also his 4th ever no-hitter, which was a major league record until it was broken by none other than Nolan Ryan, who was next on our list. Koufax struck out 14 batters in the game, which subsequently holds the record for the fewest hits ever in a major league game at 1. Opposing pitcher Bob Henley of the Chicago Cubs threw a 1-hitter himself. The winning run in the game for the Dodgers was unearned, scored without a hit when the Dodgers' Lou Johnson walked, reached 2nd on a sacrifice, stole 3rd, and scored on a throwing error by Chicago catcher Chris Krug. On May 1, 1991, Hall of Famer Nolan Ryan put up a game score of 101 against the Toronto Blue Jays. They seem to appear quite often on this list. Amazingly, this was Nolan Ryan's 25th year in the big leagues, and he was 44 years old when he pitched the single most dominant start of his career. Ryan pitched a no-hitter, giving up no hits, 2 walks, and striking out 16. This was also the 7th no-hitter of Ryan's career, and he still went on to pitch 2 more seasons. On June 13, 2012, Matt Cain of the San Francisco Giants put up a game score of 101 against the Houston Astros. This was Cain's 8th season in the show. Cain pitched a perfect game, the 22nd in Major League history, and the first ever by a Giants pitcher, going 9 innings, no hits, no walks, striking out a career-high 14 batters, and throwing a total of 125 pitches, the most ever in a perfect game. He also managed to get a hit in the game, and this was back when pitchers were still required to hit in the National League. On June 18, 2014, Clayton Kershaw of the Los Angeles Dodgers put up a game score of 102 against the Colorado Rockies. Kershaw missed a perfect game due to an error by the Dodgers' Hanley Ramirez in the 7th inning. Kershaw pitched a complete game no-hitter, giving up no walks and striking out 15 hitters, a career high. That season, Kershaw won the Cy Young and NL MVP award. On October 3, 2015, Max Scherzer, then of the Washington Nationals, put up a game score of 104 against his future team, the New York Mets. It was Scherzer's final start of the regular season. If you remember before, I said that Scherzer also had a start in which he put up a game score of 100. Well, that also came earlier in the 2015 season, so it's safe to say he was pretty dominant that year. It was the second no-hitter of Scherzer's career, pitching a complete game no-hitter while striking out a career-high 17 hitters. He missed a perfect game by a hair due to an error by one of his teammates. He is also the only player in Major League history so far to achieve multiple game scores of 100 or more in the same season. And finally, we come to the single most dominant game ever by a Major League pitcher, according to the game score, and it was by none other than Kerry Wood of my Chicago Cubs. On May 6, 1998, Kerry Wood put up a ridiculous game score of 105 against the Houston Astros. It was Wood's rookie season, he was only 21 years old, and it was only his 5th career start. Wood threw a complete game, 1-hit shutout, walking 0, and striking out an astounding 20 hitters, tying a record previously set by Roger Clemens. It also set a record of the most strikeouts in a game by a rookie. Wood allowed only 2 base runners the entire game, one by an infield single and the other with a hit by pitch. What makes this particular game all the more impressive is who Wood did this against. In 1998, the Astros had a stacked lineup, probably the most stacked lineup out of any opposing team on this list. The Astros led the league in on-base percentage in 1998, including 4 hitters who finished the season with batting averages over 300, and Wood made them look silly.